What's up, YouTubers? Ezekiel316 here. My message today is about gun control and the Virginia Tech shootings and how this is all linked up. I got my bro Jeff Mason. I just watched a couple of his videos. A lot of you guys might think he's a wacko or something like that. I'm telling you right now, this guy isn't a wacko. He's got it going on. He knows what's going on. And what this all is another ploy for the New World Order to try to take our guns. The media's been at it for years and years. The liberal media's been at it for years and years. They want to take our guns. And they couldn't accomplish it with what they were trying to do, trying to push it. But with all these shootings lately, that's the next step. It's obviously the next step. Everybody's talking about it now. If we don't have guns, then there won't be these shootings. Well, I'm here to tell you right now, give everybody a gun, and there won't be these kinds of shootings. People will keep other people in place. It's like in Texas. They're carjacking without a control. And what they do to fix the problem? They made it legal for basically everybody to have a gun in your car. You know, everybody can have a concealed weapon in your car. And carjackings are the lowest in Texas than they've ever been anywhere else, ever. I mean, let's just put it like that. You might think, oh, it's going to be like the Wild West or whatever. In the eyes of the world, the United States is the Wild West. You know, we're crazy. Everybody here has a gun in the United States. We're one of the only countries left that's allowed to have guns. Maybe you didn't know that. I mean, a lot of other countries, they can have bolt-action rifles for shooting. So basically, they're allowing us to have muzzle loaders. They're going to say it's okay for us to have muzzle loaders, but we can't have real guns. I can't go down and buy a semi-automatic weapon because, oh, they try to use these words like fully automatic weapons and handguns and all these big words that they try to use. And it's all a bunch of bull. They're just trying to take our weapons. So if you don't have a weapon right now, I'd suggest that you go and you get some cash out of the ATM machine and you go and buy one. Go buy one at a gun show. Find out where a gun show is and go buy one. That doesn't go on record. They won't know you have it. Like if you go to a store and you got to fill out all that stuff. And let's go over a few things how you can't have a gun. They're really trying to press gun control already. Okay, most of you think if you want to go buy a gun, you know, you can. You probably never tried to buy a gun, but odds are you probably can't. A lot of you probably can't buy a gun. And let's just go over in my state certain things. I guess it's not even my state. It's the NICS. So this is countrywide or nationwide. Oops, wrong side. If you've convicted in court of any court. If you've been convicted in any court of a crime punishable by imprisonment for a term exceeding 1 year or any state offense classified by the state as a misdemeanor and punishable by a term of imprisonment for more than 2 years. So, it's saying that if you've been convicted of a crime where the punishment is more than a year and littering, if you've been convicted of littering, then you can't buy a gun. That's crazy. You know, just to go on. Under indictment or information for a crime punishable by imprisonment for a term exceeding 1 year, or that's the same thing again, just a question. If you're a fugitive from justice or the subject of an active criminal warrant, then you can't have a weapon. If you're an unlawful user or are addicted to any controlled substance, you can't have one. So look at the United States, I'd say that pretty much covers all of us. An unlawful user or addicted to any controlled substance. If you've been agitated as a mental defective or involuntarily committed to a mental institution. So what they're saying right there is if you've ever gone to rehab, basically, you can't have a gun. Have you noticed they've been really trying to push that lately? They're trying to push this whole, if you have a gun, if you've been to rehab, then you can't have a gun. I know a lot of you guys don't know that rehab is considered a mental institution and you're considered mentally defective. Alcoholism and all that other kind of stuff, and drug addiction. So if you've ever admitted to being a drug addict or an alcoholic, then you're mentally defective and you can't have a gun. And if you've ever taken the test, anybody who's ever taken a drink falls under the category of an alcoholic. If you're an illegal or unlawful alien or a non-immigrant who fails to meet certain exceptions to possess a firearm. I'm not exactly sure what those exceptions are. So basically, if you're here illegally, you can't have a gun, and I'm not going to say that's not a bad idea. I don't think that some border hopper should have the right to carry a gun. If you've been dishonorably discharged from the U.S. Armed Forces. So basically, if you were in the Army or you're in the Marines and they decided you weren't doing what they thought you should be doing, like those guys in Camp Pendleton, they did their job a little too well. They got the enemy, you know. We're not in Iraq to get the enemy. We're in there to make money, and that's pretty obvious. I'm not a Republican anymore. I consider myself an independent. I'm a lot farther right-wing than a lot of you guys would like. but are you a renouncer of U.S. citizenship? So if you've renounced your U.S. citizenship and moved to Canada or whatever, then you come back, you can't have a gun. So all you hippies that left and went to Canada when George Bush got elected. Oh wait, that's right, you didn't actually go. If you're subject to a court order, restraining order, or from harassing, stalking, or threatening your child or an intimate partner, or a child of such partner. So basically, if you've ever been convicted of a crime where you had any part of domestic violence or harassing, stalking, or threatening anybody, then you can't have a gun. So let's say you get in an argument with your girlfriend, she gets all pissed off at you, and she calls the cops, all drunk. She calls the cops and says, oh, you know, he hit me or something like that. The cops show up to your house, and she decides to press charges, and you get convicted of it, even though she's like, oh, never mind, he didn't actually hit me. The state will continue to press charges. I don't know if you know that, but the state will pick it up where she left off, and they'll get you for it. No matter what, they'll get you for it. So you can't have a gun. Look at all those different reasons you can't have a gun. In the Constitution, it says that if you're an American, you can have a gun. If you're in prison, I don't think prisoners should have guns, but as soon as you get out, who's to say you can't have a gun? That's not in there. And just, you need to watch some of these my boy Jeff, he's putting out some pretty good videos. If you just check his stuff out, he's getting down to the real root of it, which is the one world government that's coming into place. If you're familiar with the Bible, it does say that it's going to be a one world government. And I'm not sure if we can stop it, if it's God's plan, but maybe we're here to stop it. Who knows? Maybe the time isn't right yet, and this video is here so that we have time to stop it or something like that. But my time's running a little short here. So bottom line, go get you some money out of the ATM machine, cash, and go buy a gun cash. I'm not saying go buy it on the black market. I wouldn't be saying to do anything like that. But if the government knows you have their gun, when the day comes and they'll start rounding up your guns, they'll have the list. They suppose they don't keep these lists, but they keep them. They have it on record, who has the guns and who doesn't. And all I can say is it's going to be a sad, sad day for the U.S. government when they try to take our guns, because the average person has a gun and is not going to give it up. But because of these shootings, maybe some people will change their mind. You know, oh, if it's for the greater good, then I can't give up my gun. I'm saying if everybody had a gun, then this wouldn't be a problem. It is, you know, we're not going to wait for the cops to wait around for the guy to shoot themselves, and then they'll go in and clean up the mess. The cops, first of all, need to go in and shoot these kids that are doing this crazy crap. But that's besides the point. Just watch out Jeff Mason's video, his The Vine Rhyme. Check out his videos. Are there sleepers among us? There's some good stuff. He's a hypnotherapist himself. I've seen him hypnotize his daughter. He knows what he's talking about, and brainwashing is happening. Whether or not you guys think it's crazy or whatever, just check out the videos. That's all.